This is a new topic released by Dr. Wendy Pierre to empower, to transform, to succeed, that the people of God may be ready to face any crisis and thoroughly furnished unto all good works. WendyGlobal. Envision, empower, influence, and impact. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and LinkedIn on WendyGlobal to know when we are coming to your area. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more topics like this. May God bless you all. Now, let's delve into the topic. The value of a good woman. In today's world, how many people would say they're happily married? How many of those people know what a healthy relationship is and stay in it? What makes a man stay with a woman, willingly commit to her, and not look around for other women? What is a man looking for in a woman? What makes a man tell you he loves you, but doesn't want to marry you? The problem of singleness dates back more than 2,000 years ago, when the world was created and there were more women than men. Some men had more than 2 wives just to fill the gap that existed between singleness and being in a relationship. Does being in a relationship mean that you are not single? This question we are going to answer later in this chapter. There's an ambiguity, an issue that 21st century women are facing that really needs to be addressed properly to avoid the chaos that exists in our society today. Most women are beautiful, ready to settle down with a man, but don't know where and how to present themselves. Women are not scarce anymore. The values of women are disintegrating day by day. To take you where you want to go, which is getting married, we would like to emphasize some key points that will attract a man to you. A woman who knows her value and carries herself with dignity, respect, and class will keep any man by her side. An educated wife who's willing to make the sacrifices it takes will definitely end up with a man in her home, and that man will stay with her forever. When you meet a man, how do you carry yourself to be respected and take this meeting to the next phase? There are so many variables that go into a successful relationship, but the most important one is the woman's character. A good woman is worth more than rubies and diamonds. She brings a sense of peace, happiness, and security to her home. Unfortunately, there are many women out there who have been through rough times and situations in their lives that make them believe that they have no value anymore. They lose their character. They don't even believe in themselves anymore. Their self-concept is damaged to the point where they start losing their personality as a woman. Some of them have been through physical, mental, and emotional abuse. They have been wholeheartedly broken. Some of them are single mothers. They don't believe a man would want to marry them. You'll find all sorts of women with different backgrounds and situations. But one thing is for certain. Each and every woman deserves to be respected and get married to a man to raise their beautiful family with. Every woman needs to understand what her value is. For her to understand her value, she'll need to understand her role as a woman. Along with your purpose you have to fill on earth, the only reason why a woman is chosen by the Creator to be next to a man is to be his helper. A woman's true worth isn't measured by how loudly she talks to the man, nor how many times she has cursed him out. Not by how many times she has discouraged the man, but it is measured by how much you can empower and encourage the man for him to do better. The man is supposed to be your leader and your protector. Please, don't insult your provider and your protector. Can you imagine? He's the person who's supposed to feed you, and you get him mad? Can you imagine insulting your bodyguard? What are you going to do when there's an emergency situation or when he's supposed to protect you? A woman's true value and worth are determined by the way she carries and treats herself as a woman. Don't get confused by trying to be a man. Don't confuse your role as a wife with the man's role as a husband. You cannot be a man and a woman at the same time. The more you give the man a chance to lead, the more you will be appreciated and loved by him. Women, you are queens. You deserve to be on a throne. You deserve flowers, kisses, caresses every day. From now on, start presenting yourself as a gift to your man. You will see how you'll be treated. Give yourself to your partner. Don't hold anything back. The rationale behind this is no one would want to abuse what's theirs. No one would want to lose what's theirs. Get ready to start walking down the aisle. The great female leader, Eleanor Roosevelt, said this: "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." The first step in understanding your value is recognizing it within yourself. Too many women suffer from low self-esteem and don't know their true potential. When you feel good about yourself, it radiates from within and people can see it. They will respect you more and be drawn to your positive energy. A woman with a strong character is someone who knows her worth and isn't afraid to stand up for herself. She doesn't need anyone else to build her up or make her feel worthy. She already knows her value. A woman like this is confident in who she is and what she represents. When we look at all the amazing women out there who inspire us, we see that they all have different personalities and characteristics. One thing that is always common in them is their ability to be submissive, to love, and to communicate well. They understand that teeth and tongues bite each other all the time, but they never separate from each other. That doesn't mean allowing everyone to disrespect you or cross your boundaries and principles. If anybody feels disrespected by your actions or something you probably said, please be kind to let the other person know that you feel sorry about how he feels about your actions or what you said, and you are sorry about that. Recognizing one's true value, being able to respect and love themselves are hallmarks of a strong, confident woman. You won't be able to love other people if you don't love yourself. Sometimes you need to stand in front of a mirror to start learning, familiarizing yourself, and then say, "I love myself." The thing is, you give what you have. If you don't have love for your own self, how are you going to give love to other people? Building on these qualities will only make you stronger and more successful. The foundation made from these determines your success in personal and professional relationships. Once you're aware and have these abilities, additional qualities such as kindness, compassion, and passion go on to further beautify who you are. We cannot forget these qualities as we go about our day-to-day lives, and especially when striving for a successful relationship. Other people will appreciate your kind and giving heart, which in turn will bring happiness into their lives as well. The cliché mindset that women don't have the brains and maturity to handle businesses and relationships still prevails in some places. This is due to the wrongfully imposed stereotype that has been around for centuries. Fortunately, this way of thinking is slowly dissipating as more and more women break barriers and achieve success. However, don't get fooled by it, because one of the most important tools that is increasing the number of single women is the fact that we approach the topic of independence and emancipated women on a larger scale than necessary. We will talk about this topic further in the book, since we dedicated a chapter just for it. What I want you to know is that you do not have to show your power all the time. A cow can create a very good relationship with a little boy just because it wants the little boy to take it to the village to eat grass. Sometimes we have power, but our power is limited. So whenever we reach the limit of our power, we become powerless. Being able to portray one's intelligence and competence doesn't mean that you are this person. Don't convince yourself that you are more than enough or you're as competent as any man, if not better. Think about it. If you are better than the person who is to be your provider or protector, what do you need him for? It takes a lot of courage to be able to break the many barriers women have faced over the years. While there may be still some resistance from those who don't want change, more and more women are breaking free from these stereotypes. It truly takes a special kind of woman with an admirable character and strength to do what it takes to make a difference in society's perception towards powerful women. There's no limit to how far we can go. We'll only stop once we become equals with our male counterparts. Knowing your self-worth is essential if you want your life to improve. Jessica James. When it comes down to it, a woman's worth isn't measured by how bold you are and what you can do for yourself, nor by how many material things you have acquired. It's determined by the way you behave in society. No matter how rich or how high a position a woman can reach in life, if she doesn't respect herself, no man will want to marry her. Too many women suffer from low self-esteem. This makes them sometimes react in a disrespectful way, thinking that this new person is going to do the same thing. I would like to know your true worth. It's time for us to start building up our sisters, mothers, aunts, friends, and daughters so that they can recognize their value and be the best they can be. Let's take a pause and move back to the turn of the previous centuries. All the literature, movies, and TV shows show how women develop a certain class. They showed how women used to take care of their families. The roles were very clear. There was no competition between men and women. The man, his role is to provide for the house, and the mother takes care of the house. But in the 21st century, if we want to have a successful marriage, the roles have to be shared. The men should help the women with the house chores, and the women should help with some of the bills in the house. The problem that we have now is that not all women are willing to let the man be the man. We are in a transitional period of gender roles, and the pendulum has swung so far to the side of women that some men are even realizing they are losing their rights considerably. It is no coincidence that this time correlates with the social rise of women in Western society. The changes in laws and legislation have made to level the playing field. But remember, lawmakers and legislators don't make women. Day by day, we can see a massive migration of men who don't want to be married anymore because of the way they have been treated by women. I remember when I was a child growing up, my grandparents used to tell me, if you want to catch a live chicken, you don't run after it, but you give them corn. They illustrate that proverb because corn is a chicken's favorite food. Since the beginning of the 20th century, women started to remind men that they are not that needed for more than having a child. Now, most women are even considering buying sperm instead of getting into a relationship to have kids. But they forgot the true meaning of family. The women's suffrage movement was the first step in a long journey to equality. In any institution, whether it's public or private, there's supposed to be a leader. The fact that women are transgendering and changing roles is against the true value of family believed in, and these traits stand to this day. It's not until you value yourself that others will see the value in you. Nathaniel Brandon. Before we delve into our chapter on figuring out how to get married in 90 days, it is essential to understand what makes us special and what is the value of a good woman. Too often, we forget our worth, and this is especially true when it comes to relationships. It is time for us to start valuing ourselves more so that we can bring about positive change, not only in our lives, but also in the lives of others. When we truly understand and appreciate our worth, it radiates outward and impacts those around us in a positive way. This is the type of woman that people will admire, respect, and want to be around. So, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more topics like this. May God bless you all. Now, let's delve into the topic.